The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
ESPN is reporting the Jets' options at 7 are likely down to these 3 players. We'll tell you which players and if they make sense for the NYJ. Plus, the winners of our ASMANIAC Raffle are announced right at the start of the show. It's the Jake Asman Show, and guess what? It starts right now.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I wanted this job. Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. And I'm ready for it. It's all about the Jets. This is bigger than me. I look forward to this. We're the freaking New York Jets. We're built for this.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Second show on the day. Click the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. The New York Jets are on the clock in just 10 days. And did you hear? We're hosting a draft party, baby. Join me and special guest Fireman Ed and your fellow Asmaniacs and come on out and watch the draft with us. Clinton Hall, New York City. We're going to have an epic, epic night. The draft will be on all the TVs with the sound on. I'll be doing a live stream from Clinton Hall. We're going to be doing a raffle. Mr. Bonesy's going to be there. We'll present to him the best of the best trophy in person. It's going to be a great night. We still have some tickets left. Click the link in the description, and you could lock in your spot to our first ever Jake Asman Show draft watch party at Clinton Hall. All right, let's talk now about a report that ESPN's Rich Cimini had. But first, guess what? You ready? It's raffle time.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
That's right. We have our, how about this, 22nd Asmaniac Raffle. If you're new around here, you gift the membership to enter or the required amount for the super chat, and you got a chance to win a prize every week on the show. We've been doing it since December 1st, and here are the 4 prizes for those of you who need a little reminder on what we're doing around these parts. Prize number 1 we're going to be raffling away is a signed Super Bowl III Joe Willie Namath helmet. Prize number 2 is a signed Curtis Martin number 28 Jets helmet. Prize number 3 is a signed Joe Klecko football. Prize number 4 is a signed Wayne Corbett football. So retired Jet greats, retired Jet numbers was our theme. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hit the raffle music of all the dramatic things you've ever seen in Asmaniac Raffle. And let's get the Wheel of Champions now set because we got prizes and more prizes to give away to some great listeners of this very show. Here we go. You see the wheel is up on the screen. Here's how this works. It's simple. I spin the wheel. Whoever it lands on wins our top prize, the Joe Namath Super Bowl III autographed helmet and display case. Here we go. Wheel is spinning. And the winner of our top prize in this week's Asmaniac Raffle is Nate parentheses Nate. How about that? I could actually just walk this over to Nate instead of having to go to UPS to ship it to him. Or, you know what, Nate? Ride your bike over to the place. We'll give it to you. Congrats to Nate. That's awesome. Well-deserved. He wins the Super Bowl III Joe Namath helmet. All right, here we go, folks. We got 3 more prizes to give away. Prize number 2 is a signed helmet by Jets legend Curtis Martin. Here we go. The winner is Mimosa. Who else other than Mimosa? She wins every week. It's incredible. Congrats to Mimosa. She earned it. A signed Curtis Martin helmet. I believe Mimosa in a different raffle months ago won a signed Curtis Martin trading card. So she's adding to the C-Mart collection. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Prize number 3. Signed football by Jets legend Joe Klecko. Here we go. And the winner is Rick Kent. Give it up to Rick Kent, longtime supporter of the show. Met Rick in person in London. Great dude. Huge Jet fan. Congrats to Rick Kent. It is well deserved. That means we got one last prize still to give out. Ladies and gentlemen, our final prize is a signed football by Jets great Wayne Corbett. Here we go. And the winner is Anthony. How about it, Anthony, who I think only recently learned how to gift a channel membership, is winning a signed Wayne Corbett football. That is awesome. Congrats to our winners. Once again, if you tuned in late, here are the people who won prizes. You see it on the screen. The 4 winners as followed. Nate, parentheses, Nate, the Namath helmet. Mimosa, the Curtis Martin helmet. Rick Kent, the Joe Klecko helmet. Anthony L., the Wayne Corbett football. Congrats to our winners, and thank you all for your tremendous support to allow us to continue to do these raffles and make the prizes great every week for your fellow Jet fans out there. All right. You didn't think I was going to leave you empty-handed, did I? In honor of the NFL draft, our theme in this week's raffle is successful Jets first-round draft picks. And we're starting with one we've never given away an item before. Keyshawn Johnson, number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Jets have only had that number 1 pick once and made a pick, and it was Keyshawn. Keyshawn Johnson, number 19, who I met in Houston when I was doing daily radio down there, and he came in studio with us for a couple hours. I brought my old Keyshawn Johnson jersey for him to sign, but no, that's not what we're raffling away. We're going to give away a signed Keyshawn Johnson Jets helmet. That's prize 1. Prize 2 features a signed, you guys wanted Altoon. I finally was able to get an Altoon autographed helmet. Altoon signed helmet. Shout out to all the 80 Jet fans who were on my ass trying to get Toon. I told you I'd come through eventually. And then our third prize, we had to do a current Jet signed Sauce Gardner jersey. Top 3 prizes in the ASMANIAC Raffle for this upcoming week. That is raffle, if you're keeping track at home, kids, 23 since December 1st. So Keyshawn Johnson helmet, Altoon helmet, Sauce Gardner signed jersey, our top prizes in the upcoming raffle. Congrats to our 4 winners. Ladies and gentlemen, let the show begin. Jorge is the first person to be in next week's raffle. He just gifted a channel membership. Jorge, thank you very much. So Rich Cimini had an article that dropped yesterday, his weekly Sunday news and notes column. And one line in there I want to talk about, all right? Rich noting that for the Jets at pick number 7, tackles Will Campbell and Armand Membu and tight end Tyler Warren are the 3 top candidates for the Jets with that pick. Logically, I think this makes sense. Now, this is before we got wind of Mason Graham having yet another meeting with the Jets. That'd be visit number 3 if you count the combine, if you count the pro day, they took him out to dinner, and you count a meeting at the facility. Now, I don't know if Graham's going to be there. We talked about this a lot this morning. I think it's possible. I think it's unlikely. I think Graham's probably going 5 to Jacksonville, but you don't know for sure. And you see Jalen Walker, his name being mentioned here as part of the story. He's a guy that a lot of people think could go higher than we expect. Could he go before Graham at 5? That's the question you have. Because you look at the order right now, it's pretty set in stone what Tennessee's doing at 1, what Cleveland and the Giants are going to do at 2 and 3. We don't maybe know the player, but I think we have a pretty good feel. It's either some order of Hunter or Carter, 2 and 3. New England's taking a tackle. Most people think it's going to be Campbell. Jacksonville, Graham. Raiders, a lot of people think Ashton Genty could be in play. Is he? I mean, all of a sudden, Jets at 7. Let's say Graham's not there. And I think most people logically would say, well, if we're going to do BPA and also find a position of need where it aligns, Campbell, Membu, and Warren all make sense. I don't think Campbell will be there. I still do think it's going to be a Warren versus Membu debate when push comes to shove, but crazy things happen. And I'm still on, I would take Tyler Warren in this scenario. But ultimately, if they took Membu, I don't think you could be critical of that decision. You would then have to hope the Jets could do something they haven't done very well in their history. Draft competent, skilled position players on day 2 and day 3 of the draft. Everyone brings up the Lion example, right? They took the tackle, Penei Sewell. Well, they also drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round that year. It's the most overblown story that because, the Lions did that. That means the Jets are going to copy that. Great. I hope the Jets copy that strategy. If you tell me they're going to find, this year's version of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, the guy's an all-pro receiver. Great. So, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'd be upset with Membu. I think he's a good player. I think he's deserving of being the choice with that pick. I think I'd prefer Warren. I'd prefer the offensive player, especially at a position like tight end where the Jets right now just don't have enough. I don't. Here's another stat that I saw in Rich's story on ESPN that I wanted to shed some light on. Kind of goes back to my point on, like, how many offensive linemen are we going to continue to take? Not that that's a bad thing, but it's like, can't we be like other teams in the league and find a guy on day 2 and develop him? Or do what I've been saying for months, put AVT at right tackle and find a guard on day 2. Take the kid from Ohio State and call it a day. But here is the stat on offensive linemen in the Jets. The Jets are one of 4 teams that have used 3 first-round picks on offensive linemen since 2020. Becton, Vera-Tucker, and Olu Fashanu. Out of the 4 teams, the Jets are the only one with all 3 picks in the top 14. And the Jets have remained terrible. How much is too much? It's a question worth pondering as they mull another offensive line choice. Like, to me, you could coach around maybe a weaker link on your O-line. If right tackle's not great, but the other 4 guys in your line are a strength, you can get away with it. It's funny. Remember Wayne Hunter, how bad Wayne Hunter was with the Jets? But people forget, in 2010, Damian Woody ruptured his Achilles in the win over the Colts in the playoff game. Wayne Hunter didn't play the next week in the playoffs against New England. Or Damian Woody didn't play the next week against New England. Wayne Hunter had to come in. And the Jets still were able to win that game, because they were well coached. Then it all started to fall apart. So that's like an extreme example, but, it's like, how many times are we going to continue to draft offensive linemen in the top 7 and the top 14, as this stat shows you? And look, there's nothing wrong with taking a tackle, and if the guy is great, it's a solid pick, but I think it's so cliche when it's like, build through the trenches. Like, yes, don't neglect it. It doesn't mean you have to always take first-round picks at either offensive line or defensive line. I think sometimes in football, people love to, just fall back on these, cliches, like, best player available, build through the trenches. Oh, I'm football guy. Look at me. Ugh. Like, cool, man. You know what you also have to do in the NFL? Properly roster build. Don't take 2 safeties with your first and second round pick, Mike McCagnon, just because they were the best 2 players on your board when you were picking. Yeah, that might be true. You went BPA. Had that work for the Jets. So there has to be a series of checks and balances, and you could take the offensive lineman. It just puts pressure on the Jets to then go out there and obviously find weapons on day 2. It's a good tight end class. Can the Jets find that good tight end? Can they find their Sam Laporta? That's another thing the Lions did. Lions found Sam Laporta on day 2. Who's that guy for the Jets? Aaron Glenn said they want to take 3rd-round picks and have them play like 1st-round picks and 1st-round picks and play like gold jacket player. Great. Saying all the right things. Now, one note here that we got to talk about, because there's very few picks that the Jets can make at 7 that would make me just be livid. This scenario right here would be one of them. Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. Rich wrote this in his Sunday column yesterday. Quote, the Jets are keeping close tabs on edge rusher Shamar Stewart. They met at his pro day and have stayed in touch Glenn, of course, a former Texas A&M star. ESPN draft analyst Field Yates called Stewart a fascinating prospect, the most interesting player in the draft. Stewart, 6'5", 267 pounds, blew up the combine by running the 40-yard dash at 4.59 seconds and notching a 40-inch vertical jump. His testing was off the charts, but he registered only 4.5 career sacks at A&M. Despite the modest production, Stewart is projected as a first-rounder because of his physical skills. It will be a stunner if the Jets took him at number 7, but maybe he will be an option in a trade-down scenario. If they take him at 7, this regime is cooked before we even really got started. That would show me nothing. All right? You can't take Stewart, who's a project in the top 7. This would be egregious to take a guy with 4.5 career sacks. It's Vernon Golston all over again. Fall in love with a guy, workout warrior. It's Quentin Coples all over again. Only worse. Only worse. Because this is a tone-setting pick. It's the first pick of this regime. Like, I don't care how physically gifted the guy is. Can you play football? Can you play it at a high level? Like, if you take Stewart over Graham if he's there, or Membu, who's plug and play at right tackle, and you feel pretty confident at the bare minimum he's going to be a serviceable starter, or you take one, like, you can't justify it. And honestly, guys, even in a trade down, I understand the premium position argument. Oh, you can never have enough edge rushers. But you know what? If they're not good, you could waste premium picks to build your roster. The goal is with Aaron Glenn for this team to not be dog crap next year. I have my doubts. I don't see this team, winning more than 7 games, right? I hope I'm wrong. I hope Fields is incredible, but right, I got to see it to believe it. But the goal is not to be awful next year. It's to not have to pick in the top 10 again. So we're going to take a project with the 7th pick in the draft. You can't sell me on that. You can't. I refuse to even entertain it. And Stewart might end up being a hell of a player. It's not something the Jets could afford to do at 7. Jalen Walker makes more sense than Stewart does. Walker, to me, is someone that you can envision being like a really good fit in this defense with Aaron Glenn. I wouldn't do it, but there's more logic in that pick than there is Stewart. I just, for the life of me, do not want to see the Jets make that decision. That would kill me, even in a trade down. And I want more picks. I'm all about it, but Stewart to me is a guy that should go in the 2nd round, not in the 1st round. He had 2 sacks this past year. I'm good. There's so many other edge rushers I like in this draft more than him anyway. I like Mike Green better. I like, obviously, Abdul Carter better. I think I like the other Georgia rusher, Michael Williams. So no. I saw that and I said, no, please, God, no, to quote Michael Scott. One other note here from Samini's story that I found worth sharing. A lot of talk about Jordan Travis. Where is he going to go? We know Ricky NY loves Jordan Travis. Interesting nugget here. The quarterback decision could hinge on the new administration's evaluation of 2024 5th-round pick Jordan Travis, who sat out last season because of a horrific lower leg injury in college. Coach Aaron Glenn said Travis was a pretty damn good player at Florida State, but he stopped short of saying Travis will be cleared for OTA practices next month. If he's ready to play, he's going to compete. It wouldn't bode well for Travis if they add another quarterback to the room. I've said this for a while now. It is more likely that Jordan Travis is not on the opening day roster than he ever starts a game for the Jets. It is a new regime. They didn't draft him. The agent took shots at the Jets already this offseason, trying to blame the Jets for trying to expedite Jordan Travis's recovery, which is nonsense. Why would they want him to play last year? I don't see it. I think the Jets are going to add a quarterback to the room. I don't think it's going to be in the 1st round. I really don't believe it's going to be at pick 42 or pick 73 for that matter. I think the earliest the Jets will take a quarterback, if someone there in round 4 is someone they like, I think that's the earliest we would see it personally. Could it change? Sure. I mean, things happen. But I don't think Jordan Travis is on this team. I wish him well. It's unfortunate that he got hurt. But there's been like this revisionist history with Jordan Travis that I just want to once again push back on. Well, Jake, if he didn't get hurt, he would have been like a second-round pick. And no. He probably would have been, they say, maybe a third at best. Doesn't have a great arm. He's a really good college quarterback. We see a lot of those guys that then gets to the next level, doesn't translate. That's him. Maybe I'm dead wrong. If he's awesome, great. I hope he's awesome with the Jets. Believe me. Play this tape at his Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I'll be there one day. I don't see it. I don't think he's on this team. I think their quarterback situation is pretty self-explanatory right now. It's Justin Fields, who they've already named the starter, Tyrod Taylor, and likely someone they draft. And if they don't draft, then yeah, Jordan Travis maybe could be the third quarterback if they want to keep three quarterbacks. And that to me is an if right now. Agree or disagree? It's fine if you disagree. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like the video and share the video. Let's spread the love, baby. Get this show to as many Jet fans as possible. Indy Jets is the second person to gift today. He is in the raffle for one. And for those of you tuning in late, we did announce the 4 winners of ASMANIAC Raffle number 22. Congratulations to our 4 winners. Once again, that was Nate, who won the Joe Namath helmet. That was Mimosa, who won the Curtis Martin helmet. That was the Rick Kent, who won the Klecko helmet. And that was Anthony L. Logoriato, who won the Crabette football. So those are the 4 winners. Congrats, congrats, congrats. But don't worry. Another raffle starts up right now. Here we go. Keyshawn Johnson signed helmet. Your chance to win that by gifting a membership all week long. Altoon signed helmet. Your chance to win that all week long. And a Sauce Gardner signed jersey. Your chance to win that all week long. Our top 3 prizes, our theme, Jets first-round picks. Sauce, Toon, Keyshawn. I better get a lot of the 80 Jet fans out there who wanted the Toon memorabilia option to be in this raffle. Rick Kent is in the house. Congrats on your win, Rick. He says, I'd love to stay and chat with everyone, but I'm having a brutally busy Monday. Sorry if I don't say hello personally. Got to run. Well, Rick, congrats on the win. Dylan says, here we go. Dylan will be joining us on our show tomorrow to talk some draft. So on that note, I'm going to open it up. Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is open if you want in on the conversation. And let's say hello to a man at the beach. Kyle Clifton starts us off today. Hello, Kyle.
What's going on, Jake? Yeah, I'm one of those 80s Jets fans that'll be in for a Toon memorabilia. Back when I had my curly blonde hair a long time ago. So I watched the early show on delay, and like Mason Graham, I was with it when Blewett was saying that they're both 3 techniques, and I didn't know how much it would make sense. Like if he's there, I don't know. Getting them both on the field, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Going back makes a lot more sense because I think there'll be teams that definitely want to come up. I want a tight end. I'm kind of like you. I want a weapon. I don't know that there's much of a difference between Warren and Loveland. So, I'm eager to have one of these teams come up, whether it's for Genti or for the DT Mason, and see if we can't select one of these guys and change the dynamic of our tight end room. I think that having a dump off over the middle option would be so huge for what we're trying to install with RPOs. That's just how I feel about it. And if we want to kind of buy into what they're trying to do on offense, let's take steps to try and do that, and let's not be cute about it.
I'm with you. Look, they're going to have options. They, to me, need to do everything in their power, if possible. I guess we're never going to really know until maybe after, to try and trade back if they can. They have so many needs, And if they don't trade back and we find out after they could have, then, okay, you better get the pick right. Because you remember, last year we learned the Rams were one of the teams trying to call the Jets to get all the way up to 10 to take Powers. That's who they wanted. And the Jets are like, we need Olu. And I don't think any Jet fan a year later is like, man, we should have taken that deal and got all those picks. No, you got a really good player. You feel good about it. So that to me is the biggest thing. Like whether we could debate the player, if the player is really good, you're still at the end of the day going to be able to justify the decision if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm with you. The draft can't come soon enough. I feel like we're starting to cover some of the same old ground, but you know, uh, when I heard Mason Graham today, it was like, does he fit? I appreciate your time, Jake.
Kyle, appreciate you as always. Good call from the beach to start us off. Mother effing Chew is in the raffle. Oh, baby. Chew, thank you very much, my friend. Mimosa in the house. Mimosa, I hope you know you won another prize. If there's an Asmaniac raffle and Mimosa doesn't win one of the prizes, was it a real raffle? Mimosa winning the Curtis Martin helmet. Agree on Travis, hell of a college QB, but doesn't mean they kill it in the NFL. His injury was awful with several setbacks. Cut the cord. Yeah, I would just take a different approach. You know, like if he balls out, great, but like I think it's unlikely he's on the team. I'm not rooting for that. I just want to be real. I mean, it's not the GM who picked him and the staff who picked him. They're not here anymore. That matters. Robert says they should raffle a number 7 Jets helmet signed by Ken O'Brien, Boomer Esiason, and Justin Fields. Doesn't Justin Fields have to do something with the Jets first before? You know, Kenny O had some great years for the Jets. Boomer's the hometown kid. Justin Fields just got here. Anthony, who won a raffle prize with a super chat. Thank you, Jake. I'm so excited about winning the Wing Crew Bat football. Roseanne and I can't wait to see the Asmaniacs next week. 10 days away, Anthony. Can't wait, man. I'm glad you guys are making it. Be like Anthony and Roseanne. Buy your draft ticket. The link's in the description, people. It's never been more easy. Cody says, don't forget Christian Hackenberg. Did Hackenberg wear 7 with the Jets? I don't even remember. I try to forget that. Ugh. You talk about, it never gets discussed enough. It's one of the worst draft picks in the history of football. Seriously. Everyone's just talking about Zach Wilson, second pick. The Jets drafted a quarterback in the 2nd round that everyone knew at the time. It made no sense. Like, it was a huge reach. They took a kid in the 2nd round, right? And not only was he so bad that he couldn't ever play for the Jets, he never took a snap professionally in the NFL, a regular season snap. Like, you would think if you're picked in the 2nd round, there's going to be some other team out there that's going to give you a chance and you'll bounce around. And at some point, maybe it's week 18, they put you in, you're going to get a series in your career. This guy couldn't get a single snap on his NFL resume. That is hard to fathom. That's how bad that 2nd round pick was. Marcus Clark is in the raffle for 1, excuse me. Sorry, Marcus. I didn't mean to get your hopes up, but you did gift a membership, and it went to listener NY in Atlanta. If you're watching the show right now, make sure you guys click the like button. There's only 116 likes. We could do better than that. There's over 300 of you watching live and thousands after the fact. Isn't that great? Only 2% of the audience watches the show live. We do love the people who are live, though, because without them, I mean, we wouldn't have some of these moments of glory. Yesterday, I was on the radio for 4 hours on Sirius XM. And, you know, I'm someone who always loves it when one of my callers on the YouTube show is willing to, you know, call in and be a part of the radio show. And one of those guys was Charles Gorman. And he's nice enough to join us right now.
Excuse me. Hey, Jake, how are you?
Hey, Charles.
Oh, draft party's 10 days away, my man. I can't wait.
Are you ready?
Somewhat, yes.
I think a lot of talk about you putting these on.
Yeah, I know.
The Gorman undies.
Yeah, I know.
What size underwear do you wear, Charles? I think these are a large.
I'm more of a medium.
Don't worry. It will fit you perfectly.
I heard the Jets were interested, and you said these are the top 3 options for the Jets, Campbell, Membo, and Warren. Campbell, I think, is more of a guard. Membo, to me, is more of a pure right tackle. Tyler Warren's, I think, going to be a great tight end in the NFL. Whoever takes him, whether it's in the 1st round or somehow in the 2nd round. But I think, you know, if I'm the Jets, if I would either focus more on Warren or Membu. Warren, we need a weapon to complement Garrett Wilson, and we need to complete our offensive line. People want to know if I'm serious about that. Of course, I'm serious.
Gator writes in,
Well,
does Charles know his camera is on? He might need to work on his presentation.
yes, Gator, my presentation may be a bit off, but my camera is on. Yes.
Now, do you think my show is a joke to you, Charles? You could just call in, just be half asleep,
I'm just lying down. That's it. I'm not sleeping at all.
Do you think this is a flattering angle, though? That is flattering. That's a good angle. Batman shirt and all.
But still, I would really like them to focus more on either getting Warren or Membu with the 7th overall pick. Because, as I said, we need a weapon to complement Garrett Wilson, help increase in the run blocking, and we need to complete our offensive line. A good offensive line is just as important as having a quarterback because the game is won and lost in the trenches.
Oh, here we go. The trenches.
You don't like hearing that word, don't you?
Well, no, it's true, but I think people always act like if the Jets, God forbid, took a different player, it's like they'd be shunning the trenches. It's not true. They have 4 of their 5 offensive linemen in place.
Oh,
they already have.
Hold
on. They already have Quinnen Williams. They already have Will McDonald. They already have Jermaine Johnson. Like, they've invested in the trenches. Now they need weapons. They have one guy that we trust right now on the outside.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm not saying that. But I'm not saying we can't get an offensive lineman in the second round. Of course we can, as well as a weapon in the second and third round as well. Don't get me wrong, but I would have been a perfect character for Cheers. Good to know.
Alan wants to know, do you own a button down?
A button down what shirt?
Yeah.
Like a polo shirt?
Yeah, no, button down.
A
dress shirt.
So, yeah, something like that. Why?
I don't know. He's asking.
But no, yes, I do. Either way, whether they go with the offensive lineman or the tight end, I'd be very happy either way.
Have you thought about maybe dressing for the job you want, not for the job you don't have?
I thought about dressing for the job I want, yes.
We had a guy call in today, Charleston Jets Rube, and he was in a full suit for his interview that he had, and he already has a job, and it was over Zoom.
That's good to know.
What if you started calling in dressed professional? We'll prep you for all future interviews.
I know how to do an interview. I've been interviewed before. Actually, I haven't been interviewed in a while.
So you're rusty.
I'm not rusty. I know how to answer certain questions at a job interview. Of course I do.
Okay, so if the chat gives a question and I ask it to you, I want you to answer it as if it's a job interview, okay?
Go ahead.
Peter Castro says, what's with all the bumps?
What bumps?
Let's see. What other questions do I have? Indy wants to know if you have your swag picked out for the draft party.
I have my Jonathan Vilma Jets jersey. I do have my costume. It's in a bag. I'm going to put that next to my fanny pack when I'm going with Nick Shine.
Clancy wants to know, do you work well with others?
Yes. I like being around people.
Give an example where you worked well with others in a professional setting.
When I was working at DSW.
And what did you do at DSW that proves you worked well with others?
I worked in the back organizing the stock. Yeah. I crushed certain things, I organized certain things, which, this goes in this pile, that goes in that pile, and the others goes in the other pile.
Now, when you do the interview, are you going to do it lying down or standing up?
Standing down, sitting down on a chair, not lying down.
Do you like gladiator movies? That could come up in the interview.
Yes, I did watch the two Gladiator films, I enjoyed them. Granted, I agree the first one was better, but I definitely enjoyed Gladiator 2.
Oregon Jets writes in that his Brazilian cousin wants you to buy her a plane ticket so she can visit him.
Very funny, Oregon Jets. You are not hilarious.
Mimosa wants to know, what are your top 3 skill sets you bring to any job? Excellent question.
I have good social skills. I have good intellectual skills, for the most part, anyway. And I have good understanding skills.
Good question here from PBM. He wants to know if you're wearing clothes to the interview or just letting it fling around.
I'll be wearing clothes in the interview.
That's good. Tom wants to know if you have any good bow hunting skills.
I never used the bow
Would you use a
to
bow?
hunt. I used an archery bow to shoot targets, but not to shoot animals.
Let's see what else we have here. Keep the questions coming. M. Morris wants to know, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Still employed. Hopefully married with children.
In 5 years?
Well, okay. Still living out on my own, being employed, improving my
second.
social life.
Yeah, I thought you're getting an apartment. You won't be living out of your home.
Still living on my own is what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you said living out of your home. I didn't realize you said on your own.
I said still living on my own. Improving my social life and still being
Also,
employed.
Charles, you might have a significant other within the next 5 years, but married with a kid all in 5 years, that'd be a wild turnaround.
Yes, it would.
Now, what's the latest with the apartment?
Well, I just went in today, brought in a toaster and microwave from my grandmother's apartment. And we took some measurements, and we were maybe able to fit the couch and my bed, but we need to organize some other stuff first.
Tom makes a good point. You really fumbled the Asmaniac tournament. Charles, I thought you had it.
Well, that's me to blame, not you or anybody else.
Couple quick hitters here at the end. Boomtown wants to know if you believe in achievement.
Yes, I believe in achievement. Why wouldn't I believe in achievement?
Well, not everyone around here does. Gary.
Is this a shot at Gary?
Joe writes in, do you prefer
Gary,
working?
Man, he does what he does. I prefer working with a team.
Ed says, hey, Jake, my wife and I enjoyed seeing you at the Badlands event. Great job. Ed, great to meet you. Thanks for saying hello. That was awesome. Let's see. A couple last questions here for Charles. One thing I'll say, Charles, when you do the eventual job interview, I'm going to need more, enthusiasm and more detail. Be personable, be a talker. You talk.
Well, I
you
just
talk
had dinner.
What'd you have for dinner tonight?
Hamburgers,
With cheese or just plain?
plain with pickle and potato conditioned baked beans.
How was it? Good?
Yes.
What do you think I should get for dinner later?
Do whatever you want, man. I mean, you could go get some Popeyes. You could go get some Jersey Mike's. You could go get some Haagen-Dazs. I really don't know what to tell you, Jake.
For dinner?
You could get it for dessert.
That is true. Good question here from Joe Mike. From your resume, it seems like you took a gap year. Would you like to tell us why that was?
I was going through all the stuff in my personal life, and I was waiting for DVRS, Divisional Vocational Rehabilitation Services.
Mr. Bonesy writes in, question for Charles. Have you heard of this mysterious magic button below the waist of women?
I'm not going to answer that because I know what he's talking about. But yes, I've heard of it.
Do you think you'd be asked that in a job interview? What type of jobs are you interviewing for?
You want an interview for what? The adult industry?
I'm also starting to question the hiring practices of Alden Shoe Store. Sausage link or patties?
Patties.
Daz wants to know, do you think you could fight Cheech fan right now?
Why does everyone wants me to fight Chiefs fan? He's done nothing to me.
Would you say you're a lover, not a fighter?
I prefer to be pacifistic than violent.
I see. All right, Charles, any final thoughts here? We'll keep working on this.
Go Jets, and I'll see you at the draft party.
Can't wait, buddy. See you soon.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. Need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
That was an interesting one, but we say that a lot after a Charles call. Marcus Clark is in the Asmaniac Raffle for one. Now, I see there's a Marcus on hold. I don't know if this is the Marcus. We'll find out. Marcus, you're next. Are you Marcus Clark?
I am. What's up, man?
Hey, welcome aboard, man.
What's going on, man? Hey, look, doing a little yard work. Allergies killing me, though.
Dude, it's the worst time of year. It's brutal.
Definitely. It's all good, though. Hey, look, as far as the draft pick, man, I think they just put themselves in a good position as far as either taking best player available or taking a swing at a star, a possible superstar. Like I told you the last call, man, it's the first time in a long time there's like a different kind of calm, like an optimistic calm with the Jets. You know, like usually years prior, you'd be like, oh, we need this, we need that. I hope they draft this guy or draft that guy. You don't have that this year. Maybe because they're doing what Aaron Glenn said about moving in silence. I think that's a good change of pace for the Jets. I mean, I'm tired of the headlines. The headlines don't mean anything. Let's win some games, like you always say. You know, let's win some games. Let's shut up and let's do our talking on the field with wins, you know, and dubs and dominating people. That's what I'm ready for. Been a Jet fan a long time. I'm tired of the ridicule. I'm tired of defending
Yeah, I mean,
tired
it
of
all
defending
sounds
my
good.
boy.
You know, we all loved all gas, no break too at first when Salah first got here, right? We're getting this fiery guy from the Niners. Look at him on the sideline, and then it's like, you know, Glenn wants to say move in silence. Like that sounds good, but like they could move and be loud if they won. I don't care, just win. That doesn't matter how you do it. Just win games.
No, I agree. I mean, but let's win some games, and then then we can do some talking. But right now, I like the way they're moving. Nothing on Front Street. I actually liked how they didn't have like this big media, you know, presser for everybody that was signed and this, that, and third. And not that I don't enjoy seeing it. It was just kind of nice to say, all right, maybe they're just, you know, sitting quiet doing their homework like they're supposed to. You know what I mean? So it's good to see. I'm optimistic. I can't wait for like OTAs, training camp, stuff like that. And I like the fact that he's saying, look, we don't know who we are yet. I like that because you don't. So let's get these players in the building and let's build from there. Like, I understand, like, you know, people weren't excited about all the free agent signings they made or the few that they made or however you want to look at it. But I think those are good, solid signings or whatever. They're going to bring competition to the players that are already on the roster. And bring some heat because you figure those guys, even though they were quiet, maybe less productive as you would want in certain situations or whatever, but they should be hungry. They want a next contract. They want to stay on the roster. They want to get paid and just that and third. And hey, sometimes a quiet signing doesn't mean that they won't. So you want those guys to come in and compete and push the person in front of them, or you know, push them out the way, or push the person next to him out the way and say, hey, I'm here. Like, I'm your new tight end. I'm your new this. You know, people aren't talking about what's his name? Roger Moore. What's his name?
Stone Smart.
No. That they got. I think he played for the Cardinals. He was a wide receiver. Then they.
They never signed him. They I think he took a visit with him. Rondell Moore signed with the Vikings.
Oh, I thought he signed. Oh, okay. Even still, like those guys, they're gonna come in and compete as they should. And hey, maybe they'll carve out a little spot. You don't know. And then with the draft pick, we'll see what they do. I think they have a lot of options. I think they could go defensive tackle. I think they could go offensive line. I think they can swing, go for a wide receiver. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited. I can't wait for the draft.
They got to get it right. Now, where are you based, Marcus? Are you in the New York area?
No. I'm from the Bronx. Grew up there my whole life or whatever. I've been down. I live in Maryland, D.C. area now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We gotta get you. We need this energy, this positive energy at the draft party. If you were able to
Hey,
look.
I want to make it. I want to go, but sometimes I got 2 kids. I can't just up and leave.
Yeah.
So, but maybe next year. I can plan a little bit better for it or whatever. Plus, now I think I'm gonna be coaching my daughter's 10U flag football team. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted.
Hey, I appreciate you calling in, Marcus. Good takes.
Definitely, man. Thanks for having me.
Marcus checking in. Good job there. Maybe we'll see him at a game at MetLife this year. I'm excited for the schedule so we get an idea of when everything is. Thomas Doyle became an Asmaniac. His membership ended. He's like, I'll just sign up myself. He's in the raffle for 1 for doing just that. I do want to reset real quick. I just saw a bunch of new people just came in here. We did the 20-second raffle at the top of the show. Nate won the Namath helmet. Mimosa won the Curtis Martin helmet. Rick Kent won the Joe Klecko helmet. Anthony L., who already super chatted, so we know he won the Wayne Crabette football. So those are the 4 prizes, and we're immediately on to raffle 23. Our top prizes are a signed Sauce Gardner jersey, a signed Al Toon helmet, and a signed Keyshawn Johnson Jets helmet. And it's the original helmet that Keyshawn wore with the Jets, which I guess is now kind of the new helmet the Jets are wearing in present day before Parcells changed it back to the Namath era style. Comments, questions, super chats, they will cut the line. Charlie says, my goal in this draft is to accumulate extra picks next year and spend this year evaluating what you have. Yes and no. I think there's got to be a balance there, right? I think you're trying to obviously be conscious of the future. If you can get more picks in a certain deal, sure. But I think you also want some picks this year to help your team. We're evaluating what you have. Well, we know the Jets have a decent roster. This is not an expansion team. This is not year 1 for Saleh. Right? With a rookie quarterback and a rookie play caller and a bunch of guys on the coaching staff that are inexperienced. That's not that. The defensive side of the ball has got a lot of former All-Pro and Pro Bowl players on it. The offensive side of the ball has got an elite receiver. It's got a really good running back room. It's got 4 fits of its O-line in place. So, there's pieces here. I think you want to try and win as many games as you can. Building the culture doesn't happen if you're 4-13 in year 1. You got to win games. Nate, no one texted you yet that you won the Namath helmet, Nate? I joked that you could bike over to my apartment and pick it up. Which actually I'll probably have you do, Nate, because you're on your bike every day. Maybe, that actually would be kind of funny. When I'm live on the show, we'll have Nate bike to where I live. And I'll go live from my phone, and we'll do the transfer of the raffle prize live on the air. Maybe I'll have, O'Leary co-host in my absence. Don't come over today, Nate. We'll plan a real segment on this, but you will get it. I'll connect with you off air. I think we can do something funny with this. The old raffle exchange. Anyway, more of your calls right now. Purple Belt Mike is next. What's up, Mike?
What up?
What's up, PBM?
Hanging out with my dog right now. Look at this dog.
Oh, baby.
I'm actually warming up to getting Membu instead of Warren after reading some stuff from people. And the reason why is because they're saying that Membu is a better prospect. You agree with that?
I don't know.
Because if he's a better prospect, I think that you get the better player. instead of like the need, since we need a weapon.
Right.
But
But
if
I
he's
think
a
there's some
better
people think that
prospect,
Warren's a better player.
yeah, I don't know. I
I mean,
guess it
there's
all depends on what they think.
correct. Now, I'm looking at Dom C's draft guide, right? He has Tyler Warren as his 6th rated player. He has Armand Membu as his 20th rated player.
Oh wow, so he's got complete opposite.
Josh Connerly Jr. he has ahead of him. He thinks the Oregon tackle is the best tackle in the class. He also thinks Campbell's a guard.
You think Membu would get drafted then by the Patriots?
I think it's possible. Everyone's assuming Campbell, but it's like, what if they think he's a guard too? Then they're going to use the 4th pick on a guard, and I think they probably would just take the best tackle in their eyes.
Yeah, I think if no matter what, it's going to go down to between those two. I don't think Graham is really in the equation unless he's only one available. But that's kind of what I think.
Now, Mike, you're someone who obviously has worked professionally for a number of years in your career. What piece
Mhm.
of advice would you give to Charles Gorman?
Don't lie and be yourself.
Love it. Mike, thank you very much. Purple Belt Mike, everyone. Trill, I see you on the line, but I don't recognize the name. Your camera's not on, so I got to if you put the camera on, you would be up next in the rotation, and I will go to you. Yo Home says Membu is grossly overrated. I don't know if he's overrated. I think he's a good prospect. I think he's going to be a solid player. I don't think he's a all-pro. I don't necessarily think he's maybe a Pro Bowler, but I think he's a solid pro. Like, I don't think we're going to look at that pick and be like, it's a bust. I think Tyler Warren, if you hit on him, he could be an all-pro. I think there's a higher ceiling with him. Peter Castro thinks it's all a smokescreen, and the Jets are actually going to take Tyler Warren. Could they, Peter? Yes. I don't think it's a smokescreen, though. I don't. It is possible that they end up with Warren, though. I don't think anything's been decided. All right, Trill has yet to put his camera on, but Artie has. Hello, Artie.
Hey, what's up, Jake? How's you doing today?
Living the dream, Artie. How are you?
Yeah, same here, man. You know, I was thinking how we're spending so much time concentrating on the 7th pick. I'm so curious if they're going to hit on anything in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, you know, or be able to accumulate more picks later in the draft.
The second round is so important because it's a high second round pick. It's pick 42. Like, you got to get an impact. That's a starter level player there.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a history of not doing well later in the draft. I'm really hoping these guys know what they're doing and can find some talent later in the draft. You know, I mean, I figure whoever we take in the 1st round, whoever it is, probably going to be a pretty decent player. I don't think there's any world beaters, you know, at pick 7, but you know, Member would be fine. Tyler Warren would be fine. I'm sure they, I'm sure they're going to be fine players. And you know, I'm all about team weapon too. I'm not, you know, we need people to catch the ball. And if they're going to be like a one read type offense like other teams are, then they're going to need to get players that can get open and sit down and catch the ball and not drop it. I don't picture he's going to be throwing a lot of deep balls. But I mean, we have Spider-Man basically, Garrett Wilson. I mean, so you know, we'll just have to see what happens. You know, we just got to hope for the best.
What could go wrong with the Jets in the draft?
I'm really looking forward to the draft part. I can't wait to meet everybody. Yeah, it's going to be great. I can't believe it's already only 10 days away. We'll be up there. Hope the weather's decent. It's getting hot down here.
We still somehow have like some tickets left already. You got to tell everyone to buy as we sell out.
Well, I'm definitely going to promote that for you too. And I know you got the radio show the day before, and I'm sure you're going to get rid of some tickets then too. So I can't imagine it's not going to be a packed house. This is too monumental an event.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
And the more people we get, the more I could add cool raffle prizes too for everyone in attendance. So I'm excited about that.
I already told Daz that if I win Charles' underwear, I'm sending it to him so he can put it on his wall.
I got it right here for you. Charles has agreed to put it on. It's going to be game worn. He'd autograph it as well if you want it. I mean, it's truly a one-of-one type of collection piece.
Yeah, I mean, plus it'd be the easiest thing to get on a plane home also. You know. All right, guys. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'm going to enjoy the show.
I already appreciate you, man. Great call. All right. Hit the like button. Bass Chopper with an Asmaniac super chat. Don't be shocked if we trade back and pick up an extra second or stay at 7 and snag Will Johnson. If Will Johnson wouldn't make any sense. You gave Brandon Stevens a huge contract relative to what we thought they were going to spend at corner 2. No on Will Johnson. He might be good. I don't want to take him. I think they got to take other players before him. So I like Ted McMillan personally, and I wouldn't be that upset if they took him at 7. It does not feel like the Jets are going to take him at 7, though. Aaron Glenn's talked about speed, so he's going to take what would be, to be fair, a historically outlier receiver that high. Like someone with McMillan's speed doesn't typically go in the top 7. Now, he's been comped to Mike Evans. If he's Mike Evans, do you care? No. Like, playing speed is a lot different than, combine workout warrior speed. But I think the Jets value speed too much to use a top 7 pick on Tet. Could Golden be in play? I'd be a little surprised. I think in a trade back, both Tet and Golden are in play, though, to your point, Bash. It's kind of funny, right? So 2 of the guys that the Jets have been connected to, or people have wanted in the fan base. Matthew Golden, whose player comp I've seen from multiple people, is Garrett Wilson. And there's a large contingent of Jet fans that want Mason Graham from Michigan, and his player comp is Quinnen Williams. And there's some of you who want to trade these guys when they're being used as like great comps for current highly thought of first-round guys. I mean, I'm reading Todd McShay's, newsletter this morning, and he's going through all the top defensive linemen and providing an NFL comp, and he put Quinnen Williams for Mason Graham. What does that tell you? Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello right now to the great Tom Rossi. Hello, Tom.
Hey, what's up, Jake? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
This is my first time calling in, so.
Really? And you've been in the Discord forever, man. That's awesome.
Been in there for a while, but if we take Stewart at 7, shots are on me at the draft party.
I'm going to need a lot of them if they take Stewart at 7.
Getting bombed. But no, I feel like Warren's got to be the pick. I don't really see. We got to be able to find offensive linemen in the later rounds. I know Joe Douglas took a couple early, but it's easy to hit on. It's not easy, but it's easier to hit on your first round picks, and you got to be able to hit on your mid round picks. So I'm all in on Warren. I think you feel the same way. We haven't had a playmaking tight end since Dustin Keller for 2 years. So I feel like it's got to be Warren.
I'm with you. If they took Membu, you're not going to hear me be really critical, but then it's like they better have a plan to get weapons on day 2 and be right. Like, it's one thing to say, well, we're going to take a tight end. It's a deep tight end class. Well, then you get Jason Morrow in the second round and he sucks. So it's like, you better be right.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't be mad at Membu, but I'd be disappointed is a good way to put it, because I feel like the first 3 picks should be tight end, offensive line, receiver.
Agreed.
Go all offense.
Agreed. Tom, good call, man. You got to call back more.
I'll call in all the time now.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, the debut of Tom. But if you've been in our Discord, if you're a Patreon user, Tom's always in there engaging. And Tom, I got good news. I know you wanted the Yankee Asmaniac meetup. It is in the works. It will be at the end of June. And my attention will focus to that once we get through this draft party here. Had a preliminary call with the Yankees the other day. And I think we're going to be able to put something together that is affordable for families and really fun. Now we just need the weather to be nice, because unlike, doing a Knicks game, the worst thing would be rain. But we got plenty of time before that. Yo Holmes says the smallest wide receiver on the roster is Corley, 5'11". All the receivers on the roster have height and length. So what is your point on that? Are they like tall receivers? So that means they take Tet? I mean, is that the take? I mean, Tet's 6'5", so they want a tall receiver. He's the guy. But Golden's 6 foot. Here's a guy I like. Maybe it's just because I love Garrett Wilson so much and Fields is now the quarterback. The more I watch Emeka Ibuka, I think the guy's good. I don't know where he's going to go. I think he's going in the first round. I know a lot of people have him going in round 1. I think he's good. I think he could be the Jets' long-term like slot receiver for years. Guy is really, really solid. And a trade back, I'd be all over him. That's a weapon I would be on board with. Put him with Garrett and Josh Reynolds. And I guess Lazard's sticking around, I guess, for now. Like, it's a lot better. Dylan's all over it. Dylan, I'll probably ask you this tomorrow, so don't give your answer. Remind me to ask you when you're on the show tomorrow. If Ibuka slides to 33, do you consider trading up? I would. To go from 42 to 33, like, what would that cost? Probably your 4th-round pick? Maybe like a pick next year? All right, you know when I got turned on to Ibuka? I watched the Gruden quarterback camp with Will Howard, and like you're watching the highlights, and like Ibuka's in all these plays. Emeka Ibuka. What would it be his nickname if the Jets took him? What would we call him? There's no way. Hey, could you imagine the calls on this show? People trying to say Ibuka's name. Chief Jet fan or Chef Jet fan, excuse me. Would you trade Brees for him? So Brees for the number 33rd for the 33rd pick? Yeah, I mean that's a 2nd-round pick. I want a high. I said I would only consider trading Brees if I got a 2nd-round pick. Buka would probably be his nickname. I see a couple people in the chat are all over that. Yeah, I would do that deal. And I'm not trying to trade Brees, but I said I would only trade Brees for a 2nd-rounder. You're getting the 33rd pick in the draft. Who has the 33rd pick in the draft? Would it be Tennessee, right? Unless they traded that pick. I would do it. I don't think that's a real trade, though. Hey, shout out to Matthias. He's in the Dominican Republic, 6 drinks in right now. Matthias, you have a hell of a vacation. I haven't taken a vacation in years. Must be nice. Cleveland has the pick. Why? How does wait, why does Cleveland have the pick? Oh, no, doesn't make any sense. Why does Cleveland have the pick? What am I missing? Apparently, Cleveland has the pick. PBM says we could get a group to hang out Thursday before the draft party if anyone wants to meet up. I'll tell you what, if you're coming to the draft party, join the Patreon, get in the Discord, because there could be a meetup before the party even begins. Love it. Boomtown writes in, if the Jets offered number 7 to Tennessee for their 2nd pick, 35th overall, their 2 4th-round picks, 103, 120, and their 1st-round pick next year, do you pull the trigger? Oof, that's a great deal. I'd have to look at the trade value chart. So I'm getting their 2nd-round pick, which is a high 2nd-round pick. I don't have a 1st-round pick now. I'm getting 2 additional forwards, which then here's how you got to think of this. If you're the Jets and you're doing this, obviously you're getting the Titans 1 next year. That's great. Because even if Cam Ward comes in and plays well, chances are we're not going to have another C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels thing for the 3rd year in a row. So you're probably getting a top 10 pick next year, top 15, which is perfect ammunition with whatever your pick is to go and get your quarterback if you have to do it. So I like that. I'm still getting a high 2nd-round pick. I then would have 2 4th-round picks. So in this scenario, let's say we did this trade that Boomtown is proposing here. We would have, in this scenario, pick 42. We'd have pick 35 from Tennessee, 42 our own, pick 73, pick 103, pick 109, pick 120, and a 1st next year. What I like about it is I have ammo now for next year, and I, in theory, now have plenty of picks to play the board on day 2 this year. There you go. That to me makes sense, no? There are 2 4th-round picks. Yeah, I mean, because then I have 3 4th-round picks. This to me, I probably would do, to be honest with you. Because, like, it's not a great draft, and there's good players I'd be able to get on day 2. And also, if the Jets wanted to take a quarterback with this, you don't feel like you're, like, doing it at the expense of other positions. I don't think they want to take a quarterback. I probably would do this, Boom. I think the fan base would be very split on this, though. You know, I would take the picks. I would. I'd give it the first next year changes everything for me. Also, apparently the rest of the rounds they flop picks with the team next to you. So Tennessee should pick first in round 3. Didn't realize that. There you go. Ryan says an Asmaniac cruise would be crazy. It's in the works. If you guys see a guy named Chuck Lund in the chat, that's Captain Chuck. He's put together a plan for us in 2026 to do an Asmaniac cruise. I swear to you, it's a real thing. I've had meetings with him already. It's in the works. My next vacation is truly on that cruise ship. I think the plan right now, because we wanted to find a cruise that could come from New York, because that's the easiest for people. I think it's Bermuda where the cruise would be going. Be a 6-day cruise. And they apparently have good Wi-Fi on the boat because the show must go on. And the content we're going to have from an Asmaniac cruise, oh my God. All right. I do want to say this. No one is taking advantage of the new raffles prizes. So I'm going to gift fob myself right now. And if you get them, you're entered in this week's raffle, which now features a signed Keyshawn Johnson throwback Jets helmet, a signed Altoon helmet, a signed Sauce Gardner jersey, and more prizes to be announced later this week if we get a bunch of memberships. All right, here we go. Let me put my 5 spot in, then we'll get to the last calls here on the program. Happy Monday. Tomorrow's tax day. I sat down and did taxes for 8.5 hours yesterday. It sucked. Hopefully your experience is a lot better than mine. I can't even get the memberships to load on my end. Here we go. All right. 5 coming from me right now. If YouTube, Mr. Tube here will let me load. Here we go. No one better beat me. I want to be the first to drop a 5 spot on my own show. And boom. All right, there we go. It's happening. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. They always cut the line around these parts. Yours truly has officially gifted 5 channel memberships.
The 27 pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Dixon Hall out of Arizona State. What am I, a mind reader?
Evo DeNicholas, Sharif Inani, Dub74, Eric Bianchi, and Brian Edwards all entered in the Asmaniac Raffle. Chef Jeff fan wants to know how much is a super chat for a $20 super chat. We'll get you in the Asmaniac Raffle for 5. Oh, Mimosa in the house. She just won a Curtis Martin helmet, and she's dropping 10 for the people. 10 memberships, courtesy of who else? Who better than our dear friend Mimosa?
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
These 10 are from Mimosa: Bryce Haddon, Fernando B., Ulysses Gonzalez, Ross, Chitty Took, Omari, Gary Thice, Pocono Jet, KG131, all receiving channel memberships. Mimosa, thank you as always for your support. Can't wait to meet you in person finally at the draft party. It's gonna be great. Let's get to your calls now. Devin's on the line. What's up, Devin?
Hey Jake, what's going on, my brother?
Wow,
Can you hear me okay?
You and Gorman rocking the matching Batman t-shirts today.
He inspired me. He inspires Jake. He inspires all.
I love that.
Hey, man, you know what? We like what we like, bro. And Purple Belt Mike too. Like Purple Belt Mike, man, is on the Batman theme, right? You know what I mean? But Hey man, I was thinking I'm so torn about this whole Ibuka weapon situation, and I think like this. I remember last year we were on the Black Bowers debate, right? And the thing that we kept coming back to is that, yeah, but we will have a left tackle for 10 years, and he's going to be potentially a perennial All Pro. And I think, okay, so we can have that on the other side, but I'm like, fuck, man, I really want a weapon. I want somebody that can catch the damn ball. So yeah, then I come to the perspective of saying, well, why can't we draft a decent offensive lineman in the second round and figure it out? We supposed to, the running backs coach is supposed to be an offensive, well, no, the Titans coach, right? He's a former offensive lineman, line coach. And you know what? If I'm so torn, bro. But I really
I
would like
feel
a
you.
weapon. I would love, I think, the thing that you said, like having two Garrett Wilsons, is that really a bad thing? But Matthew Golden is a little faster Garrett Wilson. So that would be not bad. Or McMillan, I can handle him as well. I'm just torn, man. I hope they just have a plan. I just don't want us to suck. I do not want to smell 4 wins next season, despite what you've said. So
I hope they win 10 and they're in the playoffs and we're, the happiest people in the world, Devin. That's
12
what
and
I
5
hope.
is the 4. 12 and 5 is the 4.
Yeah, unreal. I like the
Oh
rocking chair you
man.
got. At least you
Hey,
have the
thank you,
rocking
brother.
chair.
Hey man, I really wish I could be I was a little closer, but unfortunately, having family, work and all that shit, but being responsible, because you believe in achievements, I can't just up and go to the draft party. But you know what? Had I known like maybe like another month ahead of time, I might have been able to get it done. I just, I love the Asmaniacs, man. It's like awesome hanging out with these folks, and we just commiserate. No one can
I do.
understand what it is to be a Jet fan except for a freaking Jet fan. And I get tired of people coming up to me because I'm rocking Jets gear all the time, and they say, "Oh, you're a Jet fan?" No, the colors were just, stunning, and I just couldn't help myself. It just irritates me. So I just want to be like, yeah, I'm not a bandwagon fan either. I've been around for a minute,
Well,
but
I'll tell you what, there is no such thing as a bandwagon Jet fan. If
that's
you're still rocking with this team, despite how bad it has been, forget just the last, 15 years, but in their history, and then you look across town, you got the Giants who have won 4 Super Bowls and been in 5. Like, there's no such thing
absolutely.
as a bandwagon Jet fan.
That's absolutely. Yeah. Well, Jake, man, I just had to come in, man. I appreciate you, man. You made my little Monday. It's a nice wind down to my Monday. You know, yeah, it's cool, man. I always appreciate this. This is like my entertainment. It's my information. Oh, it's cool. So I appreciate you taking my call, brother, as always. And you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Devin, you're the man. Always good to hear from you. Enjoy that rocking chair. Rock on for all of us. Daz checks in. Being a Jet fan is why my wife stayed with me after being loyal to this team. There's no way I'm cheating. And Daz is an international Jet fan, too, to add to it. Unreal. If the Jets ever are good, no one could say that we're not a deserving fan base of success. I mean, good God. Good God, man. Time to win games. Australian Jet fan is an international Jet fan. What's up, man?
Yes, sir. Hey, Jake, I just had a question for you. Do you know much about like NFL like uniforms?
When you say, do I know a lot about, in like what regard?
Or just like for me, it just confuses me like what they choose to wear like every week. Because like they just come out in like completely different like combinations. Like one week they'll be wearing white jerseys with green tights. The next week they'll be wearing all green and then like that. Like, do you know how they decide what they're gonna wear? Like, do they just have a team vote like before every match?
Every team's different with it. I think the Jets truly just like whatever Woody Johnson's feeling. Now, there's certain rules. Like if you have an alternate, like you can't wear your alternate jersey, I think more than twice right now. Like you can't wear you can only have 3 total helmets during the season or something like that. There's certain stipulations that you have to declare. But yeah, I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason to it. We've seen the Jets wear white at home. We've seen the Jets wear green at home. It's not like they wear one or the other, you know?
The thing that like confuses me the most is the way how they just change what tights they wear with each jersey. Like it's never consistent.
Yeah.
Like here in Australia, like every team has their home Guernsey. Some have away, some just wear their home Guernsey in away games, and then they have like a jersey that is there just in case like the two colors clash. But normally they just wear like white shorts if it's an away game, or their clash jumper if the two like jerseys don't mix. Whereas like in the NFL, it just confuses the hell out of me because it seems like they just wear whatever they want every week.
Yeah, that's a lot of it. I mean, like the Jets have 3 jerseys right now, right? They have a home jersey, they have an away jersey, and their alternate is the black jersey. Now, they also have the throwback jersey that they wore. So they added a 4th jersey, but I think you're not allowed to wear a 4th jersey more than once, but I did see something about them changing that rule. So I think the Jets can actually wear the throwbacks they wore against the Bills this year. It's so weird, by the way, calling that a throwback, considering that was my era of growing up watching the Jets. But they could wear that jersey, I think, more than once this year. I saw something about that. To be honest with you, I don't really care. They could wear purple as long as they win. Like everyone hated the last jerseys and they sucked. It also coincided with one of the worst times to ever be a Jet fan. So that's part of the reason why we hated the jerseys as well.
Facts. But did they just like roll the dice every week to decide what tights they wear? Like that's
a couple of years ago, they were on that winning streak wearing the white jersey, black pants. They've never done that, and they were on that winning streak, so they just kept doing it every week. And Woody was tweeting it out every week, being like, "Here are the jerseys," and everyone was like, "Yeah, Woody, yeah," because the team was winning, so no one cares, It's win.
Yeah, hopefully they do some of that this season. I don't care if it's like not a too many wins, just a decent amount, better than last year.
I hope. I mean, they only won 5 this past year, so it'd be nice to not do that.
Oh, you can't get worse.
One thing I'll tell you, Australian Jet fan, every time we sometimes think it can't get worse, somehow the Jets are like, yeah, watch this. Just be careful. I'm guilty of that a year ago. There's no way a team that won 7 games without Aaron Rodgers is not going to, at the bare minimum, be 9-8 or 10-7. No way. Aaron Rodgers started all 17 games this year. Didn't miss one snap due to injury. How many games do the Jets win? If I tell you their record's either 5-12 or 12-5, you're betting your life on it. If you're wrong, you're dead. Are you putting your money on 12-5 or 5-12? You tell me. A year ago, the only thing we talk about on the show with the 2024 Jets was if Rodgers could stay healthy. And while he certainly was not fully healthy, right? He played through a lot. He did make it through every game. Every game. And this team still was dog crap. It's unreal. It always could be worse. Jets have proven that. Rich says hit the like button. Radical Bongo says the black jersey's elite. I like the black jersey. It's a good look. I prefer them to wear the throwback before the black, though. Personally. Ryder on Storm. They don't wear tights. They wear the required. Leave Australia Jet fan alone. I think they call it tights where he watches sport. Ray Danger with a super chat. Did Samini say anything about Tyler Shuck? That was a fake report. It was not from Rich. Someone just took a quote, said it was from Rich, put it on Twitter, and it went everywhere as if Rich said it. He didn't. Fake. There is nothing about the Jets being in love with Tyler Shuck and that he's their guy. That was basically a fake aggregated thing that outlets, of course, on Twitter, who don't get checked, and then Instagram, post. And the guy who did it was like laughing. He's like, what a social experiment this was. Like, cool, dude. Way to make up stuff. And then people just fall for it and don't vet anything. It's ridiculous. PBM, I thought the Jets' floor was 12-5 with Aaron healthy. You're not wrong to feel that way. Even all the people who are negative on this show, like Allen, right? He had the Jets winning 10 games, so I don't want to hear it. Allen had the audacity to try and like ridicule my 12-5 win prediction from this past year. You had them winning 2 less games, bud. If you thought Saleh was the worst coach ever, then stand by it. Say they're going to win 6 or 7 games. You didn't. You said 10. Even Curly said 11 wins, and Curly hates the Jets. By the way, congrats to Joe Douglas on getting a position as a draft analyst for the night on Fox Sports Radio's Draft Live Show. Now, my first ever professional internship in radio was at Fox Sports Radio. I don't think they're going to make Joe Douglas available for me, though. I'll try. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Let's check in with a man who needs no introduction.
Nice and wet. I'm doing a little review here on some street looking. I'm doing some reviews on some Google Maps. I'm just doing a little review here. Just traveling, just having a little fun. But I think we're going to get those 3 draft picks. I think we're going to do that. And I think we should get some big boys. Aaron wants big boys, and I think it's best we get some boys that can throw them around. I'll give you an example. Let's get the example. For defense, you want a couple big guys here, you want a couple big guys here. Now you want to stay focused right here and look at the quarterback dead in the eye and give him a good look that I'm coming to get you. And then when you see him and he gets that ball in the position and he's just standing there looking like he pissed his pants, hey, you better look now because here he comes. And then when he gets the ball, give it a drive and go give him. Sure, baby, that's a sack in the face, boy. Come on, you punk. That's how you're supposed to do the damn defense. Same thing with offense. Offense, same thing, but you got to do this. You got to use your hands, but don't grab the face mask. Just do one of these. Just use your hands. Don't grab them like this. Just use your hands and push. Not difficult. Not this difficult. Perfect science, perfect brain. Example for offense. You want 2 of your big stars here. You want a couple big here. Now when you get in the line and that ball gets to you, offense, this is what you need to do. Hold the line. Don't grab on the face mask. Just give him a shove and come. Get on my way, boy. Come on. Come on. That's what you're supposed to do.
Breaker 666. He's the man who would kick your ass, and then he's gobbled goo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Beastbreaker 666. That is how it's done, folks. Every time you go to Beast, you learn, you laugh. That's what it's all about. And that's why Beastbreaker's emoji is a part of our program. Now, Peter Castro didn't like that call, apparently. Great call, Beast. Not. Damn. Rich says, old girl told me to turn the volume down. Oh, man. All right. We're caught up on super chats. We are seeking channel memberships. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the theme of the last couple callers consistent here. Are we going down under? Ladies and gentlemen, Craig joins us now. Hello, Craig.
Mate, how you going?
I'm doing well, Craig. You're in Melbourne?
I'm in Melbourne, or Melbourne as we call it. I'm here to pick up an aircraft to fly back to Adelaide. And hang on a second.
Well, this is the most Jet thing to ever happen to a New York Jet show right here.
Yeah, man. This is our our beast for the trip back, and this is my young friend Captain Patrick, who I'm flying with today.
Hey guys, how are you?
Captain Patrick, how are you? Say hello to us Americans. There's thousands of us who will see your beautiful mug there.
That's true.
Oh, you're a lovely man. I appreciate it. Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all going well.
I love it.
Yep.
How long
Patrick's
Craig, how long has he been like a pilot? Like that's so cool.
So I met Patrick at the main airport in Adelaide when he was still working on his commercial license and helped him out with some stuff. And now he's got thousands more hours than me and flies commercially in these beautiful Air Commanders. So yeah, he had to pick up a plane, and we flew over yesterday afternoon only to find out it wasn't ready. So I had to take him out on the town in Melbourne to a bunch of cocktail bars, and we had some Japanese stone grill. It was very, very civilized, but we have to shape up and fly back to Adelaide today.
Yeah, that's it.
And it was meant to be that you were live, just
Yep.
because I was trying to explain to Patrick about this universe, and there's only one way to do it, and that is to call in.
That's awesome.
That's the
I love
only
it.
way. So all good, mate. Well, we're gonna fuel up and submit our flight plan and get out of here. And I hope you guys, have had an awesome day. And I hit the sky for the US next week on Thursday. There you go.
Boomerang.
There you go, Patty. There's
That's
that
wicked.
boomerang.
Oh, that's awesome.
it.
That's fantastic.
I love it. I always keep
Good
it
on you
near me.
guys.
You know, when Craig calls in, I need to grab my boomerang. It's what it's all about.
Oh,
That's it.
fantastic.
That's it.
That's awesome, mate.
Well, can't wait to see you, mate, and see everyone as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Craig and Captain Patrick checking in. How cool is that? Fly safe, Craig. You know, if the Jets ever played a game in Australia, I'm going. I don't know if that would happen, though. They're doing London again this year, so they're probably not going to be sent international again for a couple of years. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We are at, let's see how many likes. We are at 194 likes. There's over 270 people watching. So the math, it's just not math. That's the bottom line. Also, for those of you tuning in late, we announced the winners of our raffle on this show at the top. 4 winners. Congrats to Nate, Mimosa, and Anthony. But now we're on to the next raffle. Our top prizes feature a signed Sauce Gardner jersey, a signed Al Toon helmet, and a signed Keyshawn Johnson helmet. Jets first round picks are themed this week. Can't wait. Radical says the Jets to Australia connection is unmatched. It really is amazing, right? How many Australians have found this show. It's crazy. Folks, I got something special for you right now. A man by the name of Charleston Jetsroob called in earlier. He was dressed to the nines. He had his suit and tie on. He had a big interview today. And now we find out how that interview went. If you caught the first show, Charleston, fill us in, man. How'd it go?
Hey, man, I appreciate that. I got offered the job.
Hey.
Yep.
Are you going to take the job?
It actually even went to the next step. He had told the recruiter that I was his only 10 from 1 to 10 that he's interviewed so far this year. So
Wow. Well, congrats,
Yeah,
man. I guess
that
you're
was
taking it,
pretty
right?
nice.
You said you really wanted it.
I think so. I've got a couple offers out there, but I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm leaning towards. I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm leaning towards. So yeah, but kind of getting out of the whole travel games and all that. I know that you had talked with Ricky NY on this, and the schedules have to match up. But if you can do a Tampa trip, count me in, because I can drive right down the coast, man. I'll be there.
Love it. Tampa, I think, is the leader in the clubhouse, assuming the date works. There's so many of my listeners that live in Florida, and it's a great city for something like that.
Yep. And then from earlier, there was something else I forgot to kind of bring up because, I had to go for that interview. But Beast made some comments pre-show that I just wanted to see if he wanted to stand by in front of the Asmaniacs here. Is he still on?
It looks like he's in the cave somewhere. It's tough to see. The lighting's not great in there.
See the second part of my tagline there?
2 tight ends and pizza better than sex.
Literally, Beast said cold or hot pizza is better than sex. So I just wanted to see if he still stands behind those comments.
Interesting. Cold or hot?
For some reason he said cold or hot. I don't know why he made that distinction, but he did.
The man loves pizza. You got to respect the passion.
You know what? I do too. More than most, without a doubt, but better than sex. I just wanted to see if he wanted to stand behind that.
Interesting. You know what? We'll be sure to ask him next time he's on the program.
Okay. All right.
Charleston Jetroob, congrats on the job. Before you go, though, we did
Yes,
a
sir.
mock interview with Charles Gorman earlier. We're prepping him to try and go out there and pursue a job.
That's
You obviously
excellent.
aced your interview today. What would you share to Charles Gorman? What does he need to know how to crush the interview like you obviously did earlier?
The biggest thing is obviously being honest, but you can be honest and also phrase the answers that they're asking you to what they want to hear. I mean, typically when they ask you a question, you know what they want to hear. So don't be dishonest, but phrase your questions in a way that they're going to appreciate them. And you know what? Not that this suit was, but back in my early days when I had to get a suit and didn't have a whole lot of money for an interview, man, you can go to like a Hager store or something like that. You can buy a pretty nice suit that they can help, you know, fit you with. Obviously, it's not going to be tailored, but you're probably talking 150 bucks. Like,
Wow.
go spend the money, get
Mm-hmm.
yourself a cheap suit. Because I tell you what, a cheap suit still looks a hell of a lot nicer than no suit. So go
Amen.
ahead and buy yourself a suit, get a haircut, you'll be good to go, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Charleston Jet Rube. Congratulate him in the chat. He got the job. That's a great payoff from the show earlier where he called in the full suit right before he was about to interview. He got the job. Love it. See, where's Dave Brigga at? Dave Brigga's got to be proud of that one, huh? I know Charleston Jet Rube believes in achievement, right, Dave?
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What he call him, one punch Brigga. You need to get a job. What he call him, one punch Brigga. The beast is on his ass. Call him one punch Brigga. Has anyone seen Bean Mac? Call him one punch Brigga. You only need one.
Yeah. Yeehaw. Incredible. All right. On that note, we have not heard from this guy in quite some time. Some were wondering his whereabouts. Others maybe forgot he used to call in all the time. Let's find out where he's been and who might be under the couch.
It's Chiefs fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill. Yo, Jake, life's kept me busy. I've been hanging out with friends. It's been nothing but 60s and 70s here. So I've been getting out, walking more. 2 more weeks in this brace. Got the x-rays done this morning. They're looking pretty good. I just been busy hanging out with friends and enjoying spring. Like when it comes to this time of the year, I try to enjoy life because winter, stuck inside, fall, stuck inside. Like I need to start getting out more. Just need to start losing this weight that I put on all year from the injury. And I've been doing
Would you
good.
say you're moving and grooving, Chiefs fan?
Oh yeah, my friends. I told my friends I've been so tired lately because I'm just like used to 6 hours of sleep. And I told my friends I'm like I'm gonna sleep for like 12 hours to 20 hours Friday into Saturday, and they're like, no, you're not. You're gonna get used to that 6 hour sleep schedule because that's what a man does. And then they took me out Friday and they took me out Saturday, and I was gonna call in on the Sunday show, and I just couldn't stay up because I've been like. I'm so used to 8 hours, but I'm like trying to train my body for 6 hours. So when I go full time, like 6 hours should be good enough. I'm like, if you could do like 4 hours, I should be able to do 6, Jake. It's just recently my body was used to 8 to 10 hours sleep, and that's not healthy. Like my doctors tell us 7 is the most that you should be getting. And I spoke to my even my doctor about my arm and all that stuff. He's like, yeah, 7 is the most. There's another reason why, like, I've been probably putting on weight. I've been just too lazy to get outside, and now, like, the weather is perfect.
You got to move, Chiefs fan. You can't sit on your couch all day. You got to get up and move.
Yeah. I went out and enjoyed myself over the weekend. On Tuesday, my friends dragged me outside. I opened a few boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh!, pulled some good stuff, resold that stuff. I also left your server for the time being. I'll still support here, but I'm cutting back and saving as much as possible Like if you guys can't fund my trip to a Jets game, I'm trying to fund my own trip out there. I definitely want to go to one of the home games where you guys are at. And I definitely hope for 2026 that you guys visit the Chiefs Stadium.
What about the trust fund? Can we tap into that?
I am only allowed to tap out 800 now that I got to drive a month on that compared to the 1200 I was tapping out. Sooner or later, when I get full time, it's only going to be like maybe 100 to 2 a month. And I'm going to have to start putting more money back into that.
So this trust fund is not really a trust fund. It's more like a trust puddle.
Well, I brung it up to them that I need to get a job, and my grandparents were happy about that. And then they want me to like nip it in the butt and put more money back into it because I took up more than what they wanted me to take out. And now they want me to put that all back in within the next 2 years. Because the way that we're going right now, my grandparents told me you never know when the recession's going to hit, and you never know. Like my grandparents are very superstitious. You never know when a gallon of milk can go to $7, or like if we go down the wrong path. Like my sibling tells me, you never know if we go down the wrong path and everything's gonna be like a markup 80% to eat. So or a markup 80% to travel. The way things are going right now. That's why I'm saving up a lot, like to visit people. And even if I can't make it out to a Jets game, I would just hope to see you guys at the Chiefs game. Oh no, I don't hoard milk. The one thing I do stock up on is canned goods. That's one thing I learned during COVID. I stay stocked up on soups and vegetables. And since like I'm pre-diabetic, I stay stocked up on those pineapple slices.
Dave Brigger says, "Get moving, Cheats fan. Enough of the excuses."
I get you, Brigger. I'm losing this weight.
I think he means get a job.
Oh, I got the job.
When do you start?
I've been working at Denny's.
What are your
Part-time.
hours?
6 hours a week now. No, 6 hours a week. 6 hours a day. My bad. 6 hours a day. Sometime, my bad about that. 6 hours a day. Sometimes 8 hours. I'm trying to secure weekends for 8-hour shifts during the morning or evening. I told them I would like to work weekends more now, because like if I don't work weekends, I'm dragged out. And like what I wanted, like I got to do spring cleaning still in my apartment. So if I work weekends, my friends would just like not force me to go out, or I could just come home and get my spring cleaning done. So I got a lot.
How's the Grand Slam at Denny? Still the same?
Yeah, it's good. I just get the silver dollar, just silver dollar and some bacon and eggs, or sausage and eggs. Those little silver dollar pancakes. It's either that or they have a new smash burger. There, it's three little small smash burgers with some provolone cheese and the house sauce. I don't like much sauces on my burger. I'm not a big sauce guy unless if it's on my chicken, on my ribs, or if it's like on like the one thing I want to try when I go back to Kansas City, if it's still around, is those short rib burgers.
What type of butter does Denny's feature?
Just the same old type of butter. I don't know.
Would Gary approve?
Gary would probably approve. Gary didn't approve of me like eating rice recently, but I'm like, I wanted to try some white rice and chicken, and that was pretty good.
Curly really wants a brand name of the butter.
I don't know. I'm just the bus boy and I'm the clean boy. I just also sometimes I also bring out the food if they're understaffed. The arm is doing better. At this point, I'm gonna have to schedule work around physical therapy, but I'm just been busy enjoying myself. That plus one of my friends finally fully recovered from all of his mental health issues. So I've been coaching him to like get over stuff. Like I've been coaching him like I understand you had to crash out and spent 6 months in the hospital, but like you're gonna have to get used to real life out there. That's what kept me busy the first 3 days I wanted to call in. because he would call me in random hours of the night, panicking about his flashbacks, and I would help him with that. So
Hey, Chiefs fan.
now that
Let
I
me ask
got
you
him
this.
set up with a
Let me ask you
therapist,
this.
yeah. Good.
No,
Go ahead.
no.
What?
Dylan says he wants to hire you as his life coach. Are you in?
I probably wouldn't be the best life coach, but I could try. Like I know what he was going through, but I never went through what he was going through. He walked in on his girlfriend OD'd, and I've never experienced that.
Tom
But
A
like,
says, if Cheats fan is your life coach, you know you have serious issues.
nah.
Purple
Whatever,
Belt Mike
Tom.
writes in, I need to know, Cheats fan, what's the best thing on the menu I've never had?
Honestly, I still think it's those 3 smash burgers together with the provolone cheese. You can switch it out. But the best thing, my friend says, we'll always go with the silver dollar cheap those little small silver dollar mini pancakes. You know, like your mom used to make for you, the small little pancake stacks. Those are what he says. But like the thing that I see most people ordering now is like with the economy the way it is just the Grand Slam, the basic Grand Slam with no pancakes, so they get more out of it. It's the hash browns, the bacon, the eggs. But we got this old timer that comes in and just I don't understand why he goes there, but he goes to Denny's for a steak. No problem. Yeti.
Beastbreaker wants to know, do you have steak with eggs?
Yeah, all the time. I don't like eating spicy stuff, but like I'll put some hot sauce and like I don't like eating spicy stuff, especially anymore after what I went through a few weeks ago. But I like to put some hot sauce and some Tabasco sauce on my eggs.
What do you think, Beast?
And I'm talking about red.
The guy is smart. I like his voice.
Jack.
What?
Like my
I know
best
what
friend.
you're talking about. You're talking about Jack the Ripper. Do you watch that?
No. I put that shit on everything. That type of hot sauce. That slogan.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't
No,
do
no, no,
that.
no, 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 no. I don't put
mistake.
that on everything. It's the slogan. It's a hot sauce, but it says I put that shit on everything. That's the slogan on the thing, not a hot sauce.
Well, I would make a suggestion. You learn to be careful because there's one show that everyone's gone on this show, from Shaq to Steve Austin to many of the other great ones. You ever watch Hot Ones? Yes,
Yeah, I do.
that one.
I'll never be
I'm not planning
on
on going
Hot
on that
Ones.
show. That's not my thing.
Uh,
I would make it 7 out of 10 for me, but not the other 3. No. A little dangerous.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you're still here, Australian Jet fan. I found Jake I found Jake during the time during Aaron Rodgers trade rumors back when he was a Packer. That's how I found Jake. And
That's where it all began.
Yeah.
Not bad. Good choice.
Yeah, and I can't believe Packers fans think they were going to get a first and a second or 2 firsts.
Hey, Beast, would you ever lick a stick of salami very slowly on camera?
Mr. Tom Ace, are you that stupid? Are you blind? Have you checked yourself today in the mirror and thought to yourself, what's wrong with you? Are you stupid? Answer the question, dumbbell. I don't do stupid little things like that. That's for little kids. Little kids would do something like that. If you want to be charismatic and questionable, please give me a formable question that's more appropriate instead of the stick it up your ass for 50 cents. Sorry, that's not gonna work here. Your question has been denied.
Damn.
See ya, dummy.
Yeah, you tell him, Beast. Yeah, Tom Ace.
All right, denied.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back on the show. I'll just call in like once or twice a week. Now that it's like springtime, it's more enjoyable. The only we're gonna have like severe thunderstorms coming in over the next 5 days come Wednesday, so I might be able to call in more. Just depends on those storms. Like I'm talking about like
what time are you working at Denny's tomorrow, Cheese fan? What are your what time do you work?
I do whatever shift they tell me, 6 to 8 hours, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday now.
6 to 8 hours Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So what time do you go in though? Like do you start during the day or at night?
They give me a 2 days notice what time to go in so I can fix my sleep schedule. They let me know on Wednesdays.
That's pretty crappy. They don't give you more advance notice?
Now that I'm part-time, I don't mind. Like they could give me more early notices. It's just the schedule comes out on every Wednesday.
I see.
Like when I first started, they would give me a week's notice. But I'm like, I want to start working more weekends because no one wants to work weekends, and that's like the easiest time to work. You make the best money because everyone wants to sit home and relax on the weekend, especially on the Sabbath. No one likes to work on. If y'all believe that, no one likes to work on Sunday.
How's that wrist? Is it getting better?
Yeah, my insurance did not want to cover one last cast, and my doctor did not want to do one last cast. My doctor contacted my insurance, and my insurance was trying to get more money out of me for a cast. So my doctor just said wear a brace. Everything's aligned and it's slowly healing. Since I'm not going to do the cast, it might be at least 6 weeks in this, but I should be fine.
Give it another 6 more weeks. You should be good by then.
Dave, I would love to do that. I would love to do that, but like I'm prone to stutter when nervous, so I probably would botch that.
All right, why don't we try this? Be like, it's cloudy and the temperature is 64 degrees here in Kansas City right now.
It's cloudy and the temperature is 64 degrees in Kansas City right now.
We'll have more coming up on the weekend forecast when we come back.
We'll have more coming up on the weekend forecast when we come back.
I'm Cheats Fan, and this is NBC Channel 7.
I'm Cheats Fan, and this is NBC Channel 7. I'm more the type of guy that would like to be like the computer guy or typing in stuff during the storm chasing. Because like I don't tell this story once, but like my family member did storm chasing once, and I wasn't supposed to go out with him, and I snuck in the car, and like we were in the middle of a tornado. I got in so much trouble as a 7-year-old back then. But like that was a fun night.
You ever want to do traffic updates?
That would be fun.
Curly wants to know why is Bobby boycotting. He hasn't called the show in days now. I don't know why he's boycotting. Nick Shine did the worst thing ever. He made Bobby Midnight eligible for monetization by buying fake subscribers. And now Bobby thinks he's too good for the show. At least that's my theory.
Jesus. All right, Jake, I'm going to dip out early so I can eat. My blood sugar is feeling a little bit low, but thank you for letting me be on the show.
All right, Cheats Fan, let me play you out properly. Enjoy.
Yes, sir.
It's Cheats Fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Cheats Fan.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's Cheats Fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Cheats Fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
Good luck, Cheats Fan. I'm glad you're back at work. Hopefully you feel a little better. Cast comes off. You'll be ready to roll. Curly wrote in, what's more severe, the thunderstorms or Beast daily diarrhea? Oh, Curly. You're sick. Beast, you want to respond to this?
Having diarrhea in the bathroom, please keep that to yourself or be in private. But this is Jets Mania and Jet Radio. This is not plug me in the bathroom time. You want to talk Jet football, you talk here. But if you're going to go in the bathroom to do your thing, do your thing. Stop being stupid and get an education and get your brains reevaluated, you putz. Now move along with the next question. And Mr. Daz, I'm sorry you're not qualified. Black Gypsy, you also are not qualified. Goodbye. Good riddance. Have a nice day and have a nice time, because go outside. It's 64 degrees. Go out there and enjoy some sunshine. Hey, go take your shirt off and walk around. Get some exercise. Get some exercise. Drink some water and get in shape. Come on. You can take a phone outside. Come on. Take one of these with you and go get your steps in and get some good exercise. At least you can do something for a change. It's not difficult. Just because I come on here and I give good football quotes, great cooking methods, and great techniques, hey, that's just me. doing my life. I'm enjoying my life. If you're not qualified, if you don't have achievements like Dave Brigger has told every one of us, then you know what? Your qualities are nothing more than regurgitated dog shit. Thank you. Now let's go to the next question and the next caller. Thank you, Mr. Castro. You just signed on. All right, next case, please. Next group, please. Thank you, Mr. Omar Ochoa. You're brand new to me. You look good. You're great. No. I said it before. I'm going to tell you again. I'm voting for Mr. David Brigger, President of the USA 2028. Vote for the man because the man is helping us get our jobs and getting our futures together to make sure that the next generation goes on the next 30, 40, 50 years from now. By the time we're all getting old, we're all going to be, we'll be all pushing up daisies or getting married or having our grandkids. Now let's move along and get on and have a great future. Yes, Clincy eat fastballs. I used to eat fastballs in high school. They were nothing to me back in my heyday, but I used to love knocking out change-ups. Change-ups were my thing. You leave it inside my corner, you're going to be lights out.
Hey, Beast, you still have that bat? Can you show us your swing from back in the day? Put the ring light on, though. It's a little dark in the attic.
Anybody?
It's dark in there, Beast. We need light.
This right here. If you leave it right here where that sweet spot is at, you're a dead man. Now, let's try and get this position right. Okay. Now you want a good stance. If you want a really good stance, you got to get your legs out. Make sure if he gets a good shot on you, just get a good. Hello, baby. That ball is going. That ball is flying. She's going. In the words of the Yankees in the Yankees department, as everyone else says, that ball is gone. Now it's time for the Yankees. That's how you do it,
Beast.
baby.
Beast, have you ever slide home? Like you're rounding third to play at the plate? Can you give us an idea what it looks like?
I did that 3 times. I don't want to pop, you know what?
A shoulder?
I want to pop that. Popping that is dangerous. If we were at a home, if we were at a baseball mound right now, like I'll give you an example. If I was at Curie High School right now on their baseball field, I would do it with the phone, and it's a prime example. And right now they got baseball right now, and it's kind of late for them. But
how about you dive? I think Castro's right. You dive, not slide. Dive on the bed. Like you're sliding home, head first slide. You're like Pete Rose in the All-Star game.
You know what? You know what? Let's try something a little cooler, shall we? Guy comes home. Oh, coming home. Oh, thanks, baby. Yeah.
Right now, we're getting some gabagool. If you really want some gabagool, you gotta come get the gabagool. Catch you later.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough to describe what exactly we do on this show. Shout out to you, Beast. Well done, sir. That was great. I'd put you in Monument Park today if it was up to me. Someone called you the Great Hambino. I call you the Big Gabagool. I love it. Please hit the like button if you haven't. I don't know how you couldn't after that. Can I give a shout out to a listener who just bought tickets? Shane Irizarry just bought not 1 but 2 tickets to our draft party. Just got the notification. Shane, awesome. Thank you very much. Looking forward to meeting you and your guests. I think we have about 40. I got to check. We have tickets, but I'm thinking we're going to be done. So go. Lock in your spot. We still have if we run out of tickets, you could still reserve the VIP tables that hold 4 or 5 people. But we still have enough tickets right now. So go. Last thing I need is people wanting to come the day of and they waited too long. So lock in your spot. You're automatically in the raffle. And we got a bunch of prizes we're going to be giving away, including signed Sauce jersey, Klecko jersey, Mangle jersey, Jermaine jersey. I have a Justin Fields related item I'm working on right now. A bunch of other stuff as well. Yankee tickets, Jet tickets, all that. Tom says perhaps Shane is taking a lovely lady with him. I'll tell you what. If you bring your girl to the Asmaniac draft party, hopefully she is aware of some aspects of the show before she walks in there and sees some of the characters we have appearing. If she is aware, I can't think of a more better date spot than the Asmaniac draft party with Fireman Ed. Tell you that much. All right. I think we're officially done here. Thank you all. We're back tomorrow. Robbie Sabo is confirmed for 10 a.m. It's probably going to be closer to 10:30. That's usually how it goes. But 10 a.m. hour, Sabo with us live as we will be in single digits finally for this draft. I like the draft. I like the storylines aspect of the draft. But I'm ready for these picks to be made, man. I really am. Again, thank you all. Best listeners, best fans. Couldn't do any of this without your incredible support. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. I'll talk to you guys soon. Jets. 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 Jets.
Breaking sports news just in from the Jake Asman Show. When Jets YouTube legend, the great Green Bean, appeared on Jake's show, something happened that can only be described as another in a series of tragic and unfortunate events.
This person's called in under the name Green Bean. So let's go to Green Bean. He's next up on the Ghostbuster hotline. Green Bean, what do you got for us?
There he is. This is not my vape pen. This is an Apple TV remote. Hey, guys, Green Bean here. Are these Jets for real? I mean, will Denzel Mims be a difference maker this year? We'll get into all of that, but before we get started, I do want to remind you of those milk thumbs.
Bean! We gotta get going. Great Adventure has fireworks tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They have a new coaster there. Well, thanks, boys. I don't want you to forget to shave your balls with Manscaped. Promo code Jets Forever. Oh, shit, she started the mobile home. Stop, no, don't leave the counters outside the window. Oh, honey, hold on, don't leave yet.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh my God.
Production value, Jake. That was good.
I mean, every time we get a new Gator impersonation, the production value, the impersonation, it just gets better and better.
Yeah, well, that was actually my RV too. That was really my RV. That was good. That was my whole show. I mean, that was everything I do in the vape pen. I haven't vaped since April 1st, everybody. So, so there's that. But it's going to take a while for people to undo that visual. I always had a vape in my mouth for quite a long time. But I got to say, well done. And I would watch that guy's show.
That's the great Gator McCluskey there doing his thing.
Now, later that evening, during Green Bean's own show called Talking Jets, he was reminded of this horrific moment from Jake's show.
Gator McCluskey drops in. He says, "Is that the real Green Bean?"
Now, do you know why he's asking that?
That was a phenomenal video.
I was on with Jake and Gator.
I did see that.
Yeah,
I did see this.
I was impressed, man. He had my studio behind him. He had my real RV that drove away at the end. I mean, I was like, holy shit, man. Like, this is, he really did some work.
It's legit.
Yeah, he called in as Green Bean. He had my wife yelling at him about Great Adventure. Not my real wife. But that was good, man. So, yeah. No, I think that was the real Green Bean. I'm the imposter.
Well, the staff here at Gator Sports worked tirelessly to help repair this potential breach of the multiverse. But once again, we may have made things worse.
Yeah, I want it done now.